If you've been training consistently, hitting the gym, eating healthy, doing all the right stuff, but despite all of that, you still look soft, you're still skinny fat, and your body simply does not reflect the effort you're putting in, then this video is for you, because I'm going to break down exactly why this happens. Because honestly, the difference between lean guys and skinny fat guys is not that the skinny fat guys have shit genetics. I thought I had shit genetics, but right now I look like this. So that's a complete myth, and it's a myth for you as well. And it's not even that the athletic guys are more disciplined or that they work harder. The real difference is that the lean guys do the 4 habits that I will break down in just a couple of minutes, and skinny fat guys completely ignore these habits because, they look on paper that it's doing way less. Because it honestly is. These lean guys are doing way less than skinny fat men, yet they're getting way better results. So without any further ado, I don't want to waste your time, and let's just get into the 4 habits that will finally, and I mean finally, take you from looking like this to something like this, while honestly putting in way less effort than you're putting in right now. Habit number 1, the guys who actually stay lean all year around actually track their calories and protein. And you will see me looking at my laptop right here from time to time because I have my notes out there. But the thing is, most skinny fat guys think that eating healthy and strictly with no cheat meals or anything is enough, but it's not. If it was, you would not be skinny fat anymore. Because the thing is, you can eat the healthiest diet ever. I mean, like apples and like only fruits and veggies and chicken, broccoli, whatever. But you can still gain fat and stay skinny fat if you undereat or overeat, because both are not really ideal for skinny fat men. And you can also get lean, athletic, and confident by eating burgers and chocolate and cookies every single day. Because me, for example, I enjoy my favorite foods on a daily basis. Like, that's the thing. If you can set your numbers up properly and actually track your calories in that way, it literally allows you to eat chocolate or cookies or whatever every single day while still making progress. And so skinny fat guys kind of, are either in one camp or the other. So the first camp, because there are 2 camps, and one camp is that they simply overeat so much. And that really is not the greatest way. Like, as I said, you can't really overeat and you can't really undereat neither as a skinny fat man. Because if you undereat, what happens is that you will simply eat way less calories, right? But what will happen as a result of that is that your body will honestly start thinking that it's starving. And so what your body does biologically when it's about to enter a period of famine, which is like starving, so no food, etc., is that it holds onto body fat as a source of energy, and it burns muscle instead, which is the exact opposite of what you need as a skinny fat man. You need to burn belly fat or fat in general and build muscle at the same time, not the opposite. You don't want to burn muscle and lose fat. My bad. You don't want to burn muscle and keep your fat. That's what I was trying to say. So that's really what happens if you undereat, right? On the other hand, if you overeat, you sure might build some muscle, but you're building a bunch of fat on top of it, since you're already over fat, or how to explain it. You basically are over fat and under muscled. So sure, if you overeat and maybe go for a bulk, because that's what I used to try, like I just thought like, yes, I'll bulk up and then I will cut, but that just keeps you, more skinny fat. It just turns you into this bigger skinny fat version of yourself. So neither of those are really the answer. And this is exactly why the guys who stay lean all year round track their food and their protein intake. So you don't need to be really like obsessive with it and track every single milligram of food that you eat. Like, that's not the goal either. Like, we'll still want to enjoy our food and enjoy our lives overall, right? But the point is to have at least like a slight awareness of how much you're eating, calories and protein. You don't really need to care about fats or carbs. You don't need to track those. Just make sure you keep track of your protein and of your calories, and then literally just fill out the rest with carbs and fats. And it's really important to use both. For example, carbs at least before training to keep you, energized, to keep you some, give you energy so that you can train better, build more muscle, stay out of the skinny fat trouble, or like get out of the skinny fat trouble. And also you want to use fats sporadically, like don't want to overshoot them, but cook in some olive oil, have some nuts here and there, be aware of those, or obviously, but you want those because they literally keep your hormones and everything, testosterone, stuff like that, in check. So you definitely want to, keep track of those as well, but mainly focus on tracking your calories and protein. And so when it comes to calories, as a skinny fat man, if you want to lose fat and build muscle at the same time, which you probably do, there's like simple process. You want to go to a page called caloriecalculator.com. You literally just want to plug in your details, like height, weight, like how active you are, etc. And then it will spit out all these numbers. So the only number really that you want to focus on is the maintenance weight. So for example, if your maintenance is 2,500, okay, that's your maintenance, right? Like it spit out those 2,500. But what you want to do is not eat at your maintenance, but you want to subtract 300 calories from that maintenance. So again, to give an example, as a 2,500 maintenance calories, you literally just want to subtract 300 from those 2,500, which means 2,200. And that is your deficits, because we don't really want to go on this crazy huge deficit, because as I already mentioned, if you eat way too little, you're burning, muscle, and sure, you might burn some fat as well, but mostly your body just keeps the fat because it thinks it's about to go in a famine period, or famine, or I don't know how you pronounce it, but into that period where your body thinks it's going to be starving for a while, so that literally keeps the fat for energy sources for later down the line when it's in danger. So that's literally what you want to do. You want to eat in that slight 200 or 300. I would, go for a 300 calorie deficit, but yeah, eat in a slight 200 to 300 calorie deficit. And when it comes to your protein, you literally just want to focus on hitting 1 gram of protein per pound of your body weight, or if you use kilos, I think it's around 2 or 2.2 grams of protein per kilogram. So if you're 180 pounds, you want to eat obviously 180 pounds, my bad, 180 grams of protein. But if you're, let's say 60 kilos, you want to get, I don't know, at least 120 grams of protein, right? So that's what you want to do. All right, and so habit number 2 is that they simply live an active lifestyle overall. They don't obsess over cardio, then they don't spend hours on the Stairmaster or on the treadmills whenever they go for a workout. They just simply live a more active life outside of their classic workouts or outside of their work. If you work in, like an active job, like maybe in construction, because I have clients that, work in construction and they get like 14,000 steps every single day. You don't need to be like crazy active outside of your work, because you're already active, but this is more specifically for the guys working in offices or, like salesmen and stuff like that. And you're not moving around that much throughout your day. You definitely want to live a more active lifestyle out of your work and workouts, because like you could just working out and getting in some cardio out after sitting for like 8, 10, 12 hours a day is not going to do much. You can't out workout 12 hours of sitting every single day. So that simply just does not work. You maybe like the easiest way to be more active outside of your workouts, formal workouts, if you're now working construction or active jobs just like that, is to literally just get your more steps in. Sure, you can do cardio. I'm not a huge fan of running. I am a fan of running when it comes to running in the summer, top off and just feel good, be in the sun. Running is fun, but when it comes to winter, I just, opt for, moving around more, like cooking, spending some active fun time with my family, going for walks with my girlfriend, cooking and active hobbies. You can find literally just some kind of active hobby like pickleball. I haven't played pickleball, but honestly it looks fucking fun. So you can play that, whatever, just be active. Habit number 3 is that lean guys do not restrict themselves with their diets. And I know this sounds completely counterintuitive to what you've probably heard on the social media, and you saw the videos of bodybuilders and lean guys, like those day in the life and they eating fucking like chicken and broccoli, but we don't want to be those guys. We actually want to enjoy our lives, right? And it's fully possible. You don't need to restrict yourself with, eating a bland chicken and broccoli, maybe some salt diet, nothing like that. And this was one of the biggest mistakes back when I was skinny fat, is where I was literally just obsessing over food quality so much. and I would just, overall just binge 2 weeks in. And sure, I would get back on my track, but it was not just sustainable something. It was not this sustainable way of life to live, basically, where I would, eat super clean and restrict myself and, like grind through my teeth whenever I wanted to have a cookie or whatever. And it was just not at all sustainable. And the real basically results for me started coming in when I stopped avoiding entire food groups. So no cutting out carbs, no cutting out, fats, nothing like that. No, banned foods, no cheat meals, no anything like that. Because for me, it's a really unhealthy way to live. Like, all right, like I'm going to have this and it's a cheat meal. Like I hate completely the term cheat meal, because you can definitely incorporate, let's say, a pizza, which would normally be called cheat meal by some people, into a diet where you're actually losing fat and building muscle at the same time, and hence fixing the skinny fat look. It's completely possible, and it's honestly the only way to make progress. Like, I swear. And sure, like, you don't want to be this guy that, yeah, I'm going to eat flexible. Like, I'm going to love my favorite foods. Yeah, I'll work out. I'll give myself the reward of having a huge XXL pizza with pepperonis and everything. Yeah, nah, don't do that, obviously, right? But you want to be flexible with it. You don't want to overeat, but you still want to incorporate your favorite foods in your daily life. This is literally called the 80-20 approach. 80% whole, real foods, 20% whatever the fuck you want. If it fits your macros, like if at the end of the day, and this is honestly like the most sustainable approach for me, if at the end of the day, I have hit my protein and I still have some calories left, for example, it's honestly really possible to hit, your protein while still having like 500 calories left. 500 calories is a huge number, honestly. And you can fit a whole chocolate in those, a whole like typical kind of like chocolate bar into those 500 calories, maybe even two if they're smaller, right? That is literally called the 80-20 approach. That one Snicker bar or two Snicker bars, depending on how many calories you have, is not going to, blow your progress as long as you're in your deficit. Simple as that. You can still have your favorite foods. Don't do cheat meals, don't do cheat days. Every single day can be low-key a cheat day, because you can have these cheat meals every single day. And I want to be like totally clear about the food quality. I think food quality does matter. It will make you feel better. Honestly, you will be healthier, you'll be more energetic, less brain fog, whatever. It does matter. I do it. Like, I enjoy eating whole foods. And yes, I do incorporate those unhealthy foods as well, but mainly I feel my best mentally and, physically, etc. whenever I just eat, like whole foods. But that does not mean that just doing that will help you lose fat and build muscle, because it won't. You can literally have there was this experiment where this guy ate Twinkies and nothing else, like just snacks and bullshit like that for I don't know what kind of period, and he still lost weight because he was in a deficit. Like fitness is a numbers game, not a food quality. So as I said, just to kind of like put this caveat out there, sure, food quality matters if you want to be healthier, if you want to feel better mentally, less brain fog, like better hormones, whatever, right? It's awesome. It will help you. But inherently, it will not, get you to that dream physique. What will get you to your dream physique is just eating a calorie deficit, slight calorie deficit, obviously, with, your protein goal. And that's it. And habit number 4, the lean guys train less frequently. And again, this is super counterintuitive. Like, you think you need to train more, run more, whatever, to get in the best shape of your life and to finally build that lean, athletic, confident, and comfortable, most importantly, body. But that's not the case. Because here's the thing, like, the gym does not build your muscle. Recovery does. The gym, like the lifting and the training is just a stimulus. Like, you go in, you stress your body, you give your body a reason to adapt with progressive overload, and then you come home, you eat, you sleep, you relax, and that's how you actually build that muscle. That's how you actually get better and look better. Because back when I was skinny fat, I would do this extremist, I don't know if you know the challenge, it's called 75 hard, you probably do. And it literally meant that I was training twice a day for 75 days straight, which is like 2.5 months. And I looked worse at the end of the challenge because I was overtraining. Like, overtraining is not the answer. You cannot do that. It's just complete bullshit. It's just egotistical. And I call this mental masturbation, to be fair, like, because you're saying, yeah, I'm training 2 days or like twice every single day. It sounds good, but it does not look good on your body, obviously, because you're stressing the fuck out of your body and you're not simply looking good. And literally, what the lean guys do and what I do right now is train 3 to 4, like ideally in 90% of cases, I train 4 days a week. That's it. Hour-long sessions, maybe some 30-minute walk after the training session, and that's it. And the reason why I'm getting way better results right now, training 4 days a week, rather than back when I was, training 7 days a week and twice every single day, is the reason that I actually have a real system for progression. Because sure, I would, when I was skinny fat, I would train a lot, but I would honestly just show up and go through the motions and just, like kind of like masturbate my ego with the fact that I'm training a lot, right? Again, it sounds good, but it does not, or did not look good on my body because I still looked soft. And so really like the best, and I mean the best, literally just system for progression that will help you get way better results from the gym, working 3-4 days out of the week rather than 7, is something called the double progression method. So every single week you want to be adding either reps or weight to the bar or to the dumbbells or whatever, right? And so really the way you can do that is to, first of all, mainly focus on compound movements, because those are like the highest ROI movements that you can do at the gym to get the best results from the least amount of your time, right? And so you want to, as I said, pick a compound lift. Let's talk about bench press right now. So when it comes to, let's say, as I said, bench press, you want to work in a 4 to 6 rep range, and you want to only work 3 sets, not 4 sets, not 5 sets, not anything like that. 4 to 6 rep range and 3 sets. And so first of all, literally the first step is to pick a weight that you can lift for at least 4 reps and 3 sets. And then you want to be working with that weight. For example, it's 100 pounds. In this case, I'm benching 100 pounds for 4 and 4 reps and 3 sets basically. And I want to work with those 100 pounds until I can finally and eventually hit 6 reps on all 3 sets. So I'm hitting 100 pounds 6 times on all 3 sets. So if this happens, what I will literally do the next session is add 5 pounds to the bar, and now I'm lifting 105 pounds. And again, I'm starting 4, 4, 4 until eventually I build up to 6, 6, 6 on all 3 sets. And then you just repeat and rinse and repeat and do this all over and over and over again, and that's it. You're spending less time at the gym, you're getting way better results because you're actually having a real system for progression at giving body the right stimulus plus the proper recovery for it to change and build muscle. So just to give you a kind of recap for all these 4 habits, habit number 1, you actually want to track your calories and protein. When it comes to your calories, you want to be hitting 300 calorie deficit below your maintenance. And when it comes to protein, you want to be hitting 1 gram of protein per pound of your body weight. That's it. Habit number 2, what you want to do is not obsess over cardio and simply just stay more active throughout your day. You don't need hour-long cardio sessions, just be more active. Habit number 3, you don't want to obsess over food quality and actually enjoy the foods you love if it fits your macros, because food quality does not determine how you look. Body composition gets determined by food quantity, not quality. So you can enjoy your favorite foods and still get in the best shape of your life. Simple as that. And habit number 4, you want to train less. So not 7 days a week, not fucking 8 days a week, even that 8th day doesn't exist. You don't want to go crazy over training and overtrain, right? What you want to do is simply train 3 to 4 times per week and actually progress with intention every single session using the double progression method, that is using either adding reps or weight every single week. So that's it. If this video helped and if you're new here, definitely feel free to hit the subscribe button, because I post weekly videos like this that are specifically designed for skinny fat men who want to get lean, athletic, not really bulky, not really bodybuilding-ish, just lean, athletic, and confident. So that's it, and yeah, peace out.